यथा
यथा
दीपो
दीपो
निवातस्थो
निवातस्थो
नेङ्गते
नेङ्गते
सोपमा
सोपमा
स्मृता
स्मृता
योगिनो
योगिनो
यतचित्तस्य
यतचित्तस्य
युञ्जतो
युञ्जतो
योगमात्मनः।
योगात्मनः।
यत्र
यत्र
यत्रोपर
यत्रोपर
मते चित्तं
मते चित्तं
निरुद्धं
निरुद्धं
योगसेवया
योगसेवया
यत्र
यत्र
चैव
चैव
आत्मन्
आत्मन्
आत्मानं
आत्मानं
पश्यन्
पश्यन्
आत्मानि
आत्मानि
तुष्यति
तुष्यति
सुखं
सुखम्
आत्यन्तिकं
आत्यन्तिकं
यत्
यत्
बुद्धिग्राह्यं
बुद्धिग्राह्यम्
अतीन्द्रियं
अतीन्द्रियं
वेत्ति
वेत्ति
यत्र
यत्र
न च
न च
एवायं
एवायं
स्थितः
स्थितः
चलाति
चलाति
तत्त्वतः
तत्त्वतः
यं लब्ध्वा
यं लब्ध्वा
च अपरं
च अपरं
लाभं
लाभं
मन्यते
मन्यते
नाधिकं
नाधिकं
ततः
ततः
यस्मिन्
यस्मिन्
स्थितो
स्थितो
न दुःखेन
न दुःखेन
गुरुणापि
गुरुणापि
विचलिप्यते।
विचलिप्यते।
The state of a yogi in meditation is described here. So, what is meditation? A meditation is a state in which mind becomes tranquil. The mind becomes deeply silent. Now, is the silence of the mind achieved just like that? Because mind is like a flame, a lamp flame, which flickers when there's a wind. The wind is nothing but thoughts. So many thoughts will bombard. Mind will be bombarded with so many thoughts. Mind keeps on flickering. Right? Mind keeps on moving here and there, helter skelter. A yogi focuses the mind with one idea, one thought process. Okay. This is called dharana. To hold on to one concept, you need something to hold on. Like a swimmer, when he's swimming, he needs a support. Initially, you'll use some float to swim. Similarly, the mind requires some support, some thought to hold on. That's called dharana. Okay. So when you hold on to some thought, the other thoughts will arise from memory. A lot of thoughts will arise from memory. Bombarding. Okay, they are like wind. They keep surfacing. The thoughts of the past, thoughts of the future, they keep surfacing like a wind. The flame starts flickering. What does a yogi do? A yogi holds on to a single thought steadfastly. What is that single thought? The single thought is my inner self, my Atma, is Brahman, the supreme reality, whose nature is bliss, whose nature is Sat Chit Ananda. So if you hold on to that thought steadfastly, then the mind will become like a flame which doesn't flicker. Other thoughts will drop. So you need always one single thought to hold on, one strong thought. that you have experienced one strong thought, how you can keep on your throughout your life, you can like a tape recorder, you keep on having one strong thought, right? I should not have done this. The 10 years are over, but still I should not have done this. Okay. So the mind, we have, how to hold a strong thought. I like that person. The person is gone. He starts disliking you. He doesn't even see your face. But still, I like that person. So mind keeps on holding on to one thought. Why not hold on to a noble thought? Why not to hold on to a good thought? Why not hold on to a real thought? Okay. Eliminating all other thoughts which are unwanted. So when you hold on to a thought, then what happens is that other thoughts will come. Other thoughts will bombard you. Those thoughts you should be able to eliminate gradually. Okay. You should filter out those thoughts. This filtering out process is called contemplation. You need to contemplate. Okay. Contemplation is the directed flow of thoughts. The contemplation leads to concentration on a single thought. So look at the scenario when you want to hold on to one thought, the mind will be bombarded with several hundreds of thoughts. Okay. It's the nature of the mind that lot of things will come. Lot of unwanted thoughts will come. You have to hold on to one single thought. That holding on to one single thought is called concentration. Can you hold on to one single thought? What is the difficulty? So many other thoughts, images will surface from the memory. Right? The meditation is the process which involves 3 stages. Okay? Dhyana, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dharana means you have to hold on to something. Okay. Then when you're holding on to something, when the hold becomes steady, then it becomes Dhyana. When you no longer need something to hold on, it becomes Samadhi. So this process is called contemplation, concentration, and Samadhi means higher state. There are 3 stages: concentration, contemplation, concentration, and Samadhi. What is contemplation? Please understand. The contemplation is the process by which you direct the mind towards a single thought. There are many, when you are narrowing down, there are many things are coming. So you are starting narrowing down by logic. Okay, that's called contemplation. So what is the logic? Let us understand that logic which is used for contemplation. Please understand the contemplation, concentration, and Samadhi. These 3 go together. Okay. Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Dharana means holding on. Okay. So the mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. Thousands of thoughts are there. Mind is scattered. The scattered mind has no power. Like sunlight. Sunlight doesn't burn a piece of paper. Otherwise, all our actually what you call as the Bangalore, the dustbins, they will catch on fire. Or the litter which is there on the street, no? So they'll catch on fire because all paper, waste paper, and all people throw there. It'll catch on fire. Sunlight is there, but it doesn't burn. Why? It's a diffuse light. But just put a magnifying glass there. The light becomes concentrated and it'll catch fire. So the question is, can you make the mind concentrated? Okay. Can you make the mind focused? The process of making the mind focus is outlined here. That consists of 3 stages. What is that? What are they called? Contemplation, concentration, and Samadhi. It's called Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, these are the 3 stages. Okay. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Last three stages are called Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the final stages. Samadhi means you have become one with the Supreme. Now, is it difficult? It is not difficult if you know the process. Okay. So, what is saying? Giving you an example of a lamp. The lamp flickers when there's a wind. Okay. The lamp cannot, it's not steady. Right? The mind is like a lamp. When does it flicker? There's no wind. The wind is nothing but thoughts. A storm of thoughts. Lot of hundreds of thoughts will come. So the mind will flicker. Okay. So make the mind steady through the process of contemplation. Okay. How does it happen? How does it concern? What you need to have one single thought in the mind. Okay. So that's called dharana, to holding on to single thought. What is that single thought you have to hold on? Please tell me. What thought you should hold on in meditation? Please tell me. What is that thought you have to hold on in mind in meditation? Maitreyi.
I am nothing but God.
Okay. What is the thought you have to hold on in the mind?
You don't have to hold.
Before you reach stage of final stage, you need to hold it. Otherwise, mind is scattered. It's like from 1,000 thought, you bring it to one thought, right thought. Okay. And then that thought disappears in samadhi. Understand? 1,000 thoughts, narrow down. 1,000 thoughts, you bring it down to 4 thoughts, 5 thoughts, 1 thought. That 4 thought, 5 thought, 1 thought is 4,000 thoughts you narrow down. The narrow down to 4, 5, 6 thoughts, which will narrow down is called, that thought is called process of contemplation. Then finally, you left with 1 thought. Even finally, that thought also disappears. Understand? Into what? Atma, the self. So what is that which is required for you to disappear into the apparent Atma? The thought is, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. I am pure consciousness, I am Chaitanya, Shivoham. Okay. What is the nature of Shiva? Please tell me. When I say Shivoham, what is the nature of Shiva?
Bliss.
The total bliss. Satchidananda, total deepest bliss. Nothing is comparable to that. Ultimate bliss is Shiva. So my nature is bliss. My nature is eternal bliss. Right? Amritananda. Amrita means eternal. Ananda. My nature is eternal bliss. This is the thought which you have to hold on. Okay. Then when you are holding on to that thought, suddenly some thought will come. Yesterday I did something. That person I should meet. I should have seen this. I should not have done this. Thoughts will come. So now those thoughts you have to eliminate. Okay. And focus on the right thought. This is actually called contemplation. Elimination and focus. Elimination and focus. How do you eliminate those thoughts? Please tell me. I should have met that person yesterday. Who is that I? The body. Okay. You have to say, I'm not. Right? Oh, I am suffering in my life. Why should I have married this person? Huh? Some bad Jataka has married me to marry this person. I am suffering in my life. This thought comes. Then what should be the right thinking?
My husband is God.
So actually I didn't say this. You assume that his husband is saying, wife is saying. I'm actually the husband is saying this.
Then I am a
So then what you should say? What should be the right thinking? I am not the body. Okay. My nature is bliss. You have to remember that. You have to finally narrow down thousands of thoughts to I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect. I am pure consciousness whose nature is bliss. Sat, Chit, Ananda. That's my nature. So you have to bring down that thought. From thousands of thoughts coming down to that thought by alienation is called contemplation. All right. So contemplation requires some support. What is the support for contemplation? This is the teaching of Upanishads, teaching of Bhagavad Gita is the support. Others you can think something else, no? Why my nature is bliss? You should think. You should think. You can think anything else. So that's why authentic texts of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad will tell you, help you to narrow down. That's called process of contemplation. This is the importance of Shravana, Manana, and Nidhyasa. You have to listen to the truth. Okay. So once you narrow down, then one thought will remain. Right? One way will remain in the mind. So after some time, the wave becomes steady. The thought becomes steady. You should attain the steadiness of the thought as if the flame, the lamp flame, is steady and there's no wind. Now there's no wind actually. The wind of other thought process is gone. Only one thought is there, that I am supreme reality. I am Brahman. I am pure consciousness. This thought is there. Okay. So you have to come to that stage. That's called meditation. Okay. So when you hold that thought, the beauty of mind has certain beauty. Okay. Mind has certain nature. The nature of the mind is what you think, you become that. Constantly what you think, you become that. Right? Constantly your thought, what you hold on, will become that. Okay. So this is actually, if you think of good things in life, life is good, positive, the mind will become positive. If you keep thinking of negative things in life, mind will become negative. What you think, you become. Please understand, if your life is suffering, it's not because somebody else makes you suffer. It's because your thought process is that of suffering. If your life is not blissful, it's because your thought process is not leading to a blissful conclusion. What you are in your life is nothing but your thoughts. What thoughts you have is what you are. Unless you have a right thought, you are actually trapped. So to develop the right thought, you have to listen to Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad. Then you have to contemplate, narrow down, and this is the process. Okay. So the mind takes now, the mind is called vritti in Sanskrit. The thought is called vritti. Okay. So the mind, if it constantly thinks of Brahman, please understand, constantly thinks of Brahman, the supreme reality, the mind takes the form of Brahman. Mind itself takes the form of Brahman. What is the form of Brahman? Please tell me. Has Brahman a form? Has supreme reality a form? Then what does mind take form? All that is there is nothing but Brahman only. There's nothing other than supreme reality. Okay. And the nature of Brahman is whatever exists in the universe is Brahman, and Brahman's nature is Sat, Chit, Ananda. The mind takes form of extreme bliss, deepest bliss. So it's called Brahmakara Vritti. One single thought occupies you. The single thought is, I am Brahman, I am the supreme reality. That thought will occupy. Okay, understand? It is no longer now, earlier just effort. From millions of thoughts, you are bringing down to one thought. What is that process called? Huh? contemplation, dharana. Then it becomes concentration, dhyana. So here it says dhyana means a one thought which doesn't, where the mind doesn't flicker. Okay, understand? So in that thought, ultimately thought arises, I am Brahman, I am supreme reality, my nature is bliss. Okay, that experience is done, happens in the mind. Now if somebody has an thinking that this is sort of visualization or imagination, it is not so. That's what Sri Bhagavan says. Buddhigrahyam atindriyam. The intellect which is purified, atindriyam, this sukham, the bliss which is beyond the senses. Now we have bliss, we experience bliss every day, right? When you eat a jalebi, aha, what jalebi? That's momentary bliss. There's a sense, taste. When you see something beautiful, oh, what, how beautiful it is. Seeing. When you listen to a good music, right? When you plug both your ears with that, what do you call, earphone, and have a mobile, nothing in the world you can hear. What a bliss actually. Huh? Mother is calling. Mother is shouting. Nothing you can hear.
I ordered a pair of headphones yesterday itself.
So to attain bliss, bliss of music. So what a bliss you experience with hearing. Okay. Then what a bliss you experience when you eat something sweet. Okay. What a bliss you experience from seeing something beautiful. So these are all bliss related to sense organs. Okay. All right. What is that? Beijing bites. So we eat it. Ah, what a song. The mind keeps on going to that. So these are all senses, the bliss of senses. The bliss of Atman is much, much beyond million, trillion times more higher, greater the bliss than this. Okay. It is atindriyam, means it is beyond the sense organs. That bliss you experience. Where do you experience? Buddhi grahyam, buddhi experiences it. Buddhi experiences it, senses it. Now what did he say? God cannot be attained through buddhi, manas or intellect. So God cannot be attained. Buddhi which is impure, the intellect which is impure. Okay. Understand? When does the intellect become impure? When our mind, intellect is actually outgoing in nature. Intellect can work only based on the logic, what you can see, sense organs. Understand? Can you understand something beyond what you can experience? What is that? Smiling? Okay. So if there is smoke somewhere, you can say there is a fire. That's logical. Intellect can do logic. But intellect cannot understand what is not available to senses, beyond senses. That's the limitation of intellect. And intellect thinks that what is available to senses only is real. This is the impure intellect. Okay. So where is God? Show me God. God is an object available to senses. So intellect cannot understand it. The intellect requires a purification. Okay. So what is this purification? How does the purification happen? Listening to scriptures, listening to teaching of Upanishad, listening to Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So what is the teaching? Nanu, Nanembudu, Nanalla, Ideha, Mana, Buddhi, Nanalla, Sachidanandatma, Shivananunani, Shivoham. So this teaching has to go deep inside us. For that we need to listen to Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita. Brahma Sutra. Because our intellect is corrupted in contact with the sense organs. Okay, so we think sense organs, what they say, whatever I can sense is real. So something more than real than that is there. To understand that, you need the teachings. Understand? So what is that understanding? I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am pure consciousness, Chaitanya. What is the nature of Chaitanya? Sat, Chit, Ananda, eternal bliss. That's why it's called Amrita, Ananda. Amrita means eternal, Ananda means bliss. So that is my nature. This conviction has to come. So this conviction to come, you need to listen. And while you are holding on to that thought, if any other thought comes, eliminate that by proper reasoning. So I met that person. So when you say I met that person, there's a body which I met the person, but I am not the body. So then eliminate that thought. My nature is Ananda. Hold on to that positive thought. So this is what's called Shravan, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Then it leads to Samadhi. In Samadhi, what happens? Sukham Atyantikam, extreme bliss is experienced. The ultimate bliss. Okay, it's a positive experience. Please understand. It is not just absence of something. It's a very, very positive experience, bliss. Okay. It's as if nothing exists. No. It's a totally experience of bliss, which happens during Samadhi. So then what happened? Then the yogi understands. Then that experience of bliss is so much that you don't need anything. That experience is so ultimate experience. Okay, in that ultimate experience, there is no attraction for anything else. So that's called ultimate bliss. It is like this: somebody has drunk the nectar, the amrita. How can he have a liking for milk, alcohol, okay, or any other drink? Because you have tasted the nectar, which is ultimate. What is it?
How can a person drinks nectar? How can he? I didn't understand.
No. It's when you get something most beautiful or the greatest thing in the world, the lower things you'll not like, right? So somebody has drunk the nectar, which is ultimate. Then he will not like coffee, tea, or milk or alcohol. There's nothing there. So similarly, when somebody has experienced the bliss of the ultimate bliss of the self, he doesn't hanker for anything lower, because that's the ultimate in nature. And what is the nature of that person? Bliss. Even the greatest sorrow falls on him. The greatest sorrow, he is not disturbed by it. No sorrow, no suffering can disturb him. Okay. Tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga sannitam sa nischayena yoktavyo yogo nirvanna chetasa. So now the definition of yoga is given. Okay. What is your understanding of yoga? What's your understanding of yoga? What do you mean by yoga? What is the word yoga mean to you? Yoga means yuj, to join. To join what? What do you join? What is it you join?
Your consciousness and your body movement.
No.
Your consciousness with super consciousness.
Your consciousness with the God. Individual consciousness with the supreme consciousness. Jivatma with the Paramatma. Union of Jivatma with the Paramatma is called yoga. That's why yuj. It comes from yuj. Yuj means to join. Understand? You have heard the word yoke? English word called yoke. What is yoke?
Yolk.
Huh?
Egg yolk. Egg.
Not yoke. Y-O-K-E. Yoke is joining. So it has come from the root word yuj. Yuj means to join. So the to join the individual soul with the supreme soul is called yoga. Okay. Now Sri Krishna gives another definition of yoga. Yoga is nothing but viyoga. Viyoga means separation. You have to separate out from what? Separate out from that which is giving you pain. Okay. Separate out from that which is giving you suffering. Then what remains is yoga. Okay. Yoga is separation from what is giving you the pain. Viyoga from pain. What is that which is giving you pain? Identification with the body, mind, and intellect gives you pain. When you identify with the body, then what will happen? Anything happens to the body, you start feeling, oh, I am suffering. Okay. Anything happens to the body, you say, I am suffering, because body is you. Understand? When you identify the mind, whatever happens to the mind, ups and downs of the mind will affect you. When you identify the intellect, the intellectual understanding will affect you. Right? So what happens when you say identify the body? Somebody says, yeah, you look very smart, yeah. So this person is already floating 2 feet high in the ground. Huh? Smart I am. You look very smart. Okay. So that's about body. Hey, what happened to you? You look old, dear. Huh? How old are you? Huh? How old are you? You look old. Depressed. Okay. What you don't understand is that you have nothing to do with the body. You are using the body, but you are not the body. It's like you are sitting in the car. Car has become old, but nothing has happened to you. Most of the people confused in the world is because they identify with the body. Everything in the world, the suffering is because of the identification of the body. Okay. So now what happens with the identify of the mind? I am very depressed here. I didn't pass the exam. I'm depressed. Okay. I proposed to that girl and she refused to marry, and I am depressed. Actually, you should be enjoying, happy, will be very happy, right? This guy gets depressed. Okay. So I am depressed. I am old. I am old because body is old. I am depressed because my mind is depressed. I am totally confused here. Who is that confusion? Intellect. So you are none of these. I am pure consciousness. That should be the right thought. hold on to the right thought, then you let experience ultimate bliss in the meditation. So yoga means yoga, separation from the pain. What gives you pain is the body, mind, and intellect. It means it's not that throwing it out, it is stopping the identification with the body, mind, and intellect. The only difference is I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the intellect. But I have a body, I have a mind, I have an intellect. Like I have a car. This concept has come. It is your responsibility to maintain the car in good condition. It's your responsibility to maintain the body in good condition. But you are not the body. That should be clear. Then you will not feel depressed. All your depression and suffering is because of identification of the body, mind, and intellect. So Sri Krishna gives a new definition of yoga. Yoga is viyoga, separation from the pain. Yeah. Sankalpa, Prabhava, Kaman, Styaktva, Sarvan, Asheshatah, Manasaiva, Indriya, Gramam, Viniyamya, Samantatah, Shanai, Rupa, Medat, Buddhya, Drati, Grahitaya, Atma Samstam, Manakratva, Na Kinchidapi, Chintaye. So what has to be done is, how do you achieve that concentration? You have to drop all desires. So now the question becomes, if you drop all desires, I'll become a vegetable, potato, right? So does it mean that desires, dropping all desires will lead to you becoming a vegetable? Does it mean that dropping all desires? Dropping desires which cause you agitation, cause you disturbance of the mind. Okay. Desires which cause you disturbance of mind. There are desires which don't cause you disturbance of mind. What is it? There are two categories of desires. Some desires which are required for your living, some desires which are required for service. They won't cause you agitation of the mind. What causes the agitation of the mind? That desire you drop. Okay. If you drop all the desires, then what will happen to you? Have the desires which don't cause you agitation of the mind. Okay. A desire for earning your livelihood in the right way is not a desire. On the other hand, if you don't have the desire, your mind will be disturbed. Understand? So have desire which doesn't cause you disturbance of the mind. Can you give me an example of desire which causes disturbance of the mind?
All desires cause disturbance. In some way or the other.
Actually, not having some desire will cause some disturbance. Sometimes, right?
How?
So the desire, what is it? Okay.
How?
I want to. I'll take you digital. First, I'll tell you desires which cause disturbance in the mind. One category, right?
Oh, you said no desires cause disturbance.
No, no. I'll tell both the categories. First is a desire. Okay. Something which is impossible to achieve. You keep on having the desire. That will cause you. It's called fantasy. All right. So they will cause you disturbance of the mind. Example. I have to marry that girl here. And that girl never sees your face. Okay. I want to earn hundreds of crores like that person. First of all, you are not even earning 1 lakh. So desires which are actually impossible, which are beyond your capacity, which are fantasies, will cause you disturbance. There are some rightful desires. I need to do some work for my living. Now, if you say, I don't want to work, okay, then another agitation will start in the mind. What is the agitation? Desire for working and earning rightful way. If the desire is not there, what will happen to you? Huh? Survival desire, tension will come. How do I survive? So the mind gets agitated, right? So there are category of desire. Did you understand what I'm saying? There are some desires which are impossible to achieve, right? If you have that desire, the mind will get
It's
agitated.
also ambition, right?
Yeah, ambition, a rightful ambition is okay. There are some fantasies are there.
That person may be wanting it so badly, so they will work for it.
Correct. They work for it, but does it cause a disturbance in him?
If they want it, they will try and
They will try it, but there are some things it's impossible to achieve. It's beyond their capability. Then it causes a lot of disturbance in the mind. I didn't get it.
What?
Hmm?
Like what?
I said no. One example I gave, right? I heard one news. Okay, the boy proposed to a girl. She refused. But this boy says, I want to marry that girl only.
It's not an ambition.
It's a desire. I'm speaking of desire. Right? The desire you don't convert it ambition. I'm saying this is a desire. So that girl refused. Then this fellow jumped from 7th story of the building. Every bone in the body is broken. He survived. Actually, if he had died, that would have been a blessing. He's a young fellow. This is coming in newspaper.
Now that
20
never married.
21 years. And every bone in the body is broken, and throughout his life he is bedridden. So why did that happen? There was a desire which was not fulfilled, and it led to disturbance of the mind. Right? So now another desire is there. I have to earn. I have to make some money for my living. Okay. I have to do a great job. I have to work well. I have to become successful. Let's say if this desire is not there, what will happen? Then you will not do anything. Okay. Unless your wife works. So survival becomes the question mark. That question mark of survival causes the agitation in the mind. You understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? There are two types of desires. One is desires which cause agitation, and desires which are legitimate. So when see Krishna says, drop all the desires, he didn't say about legitimate desire. Okay, he's teaching Arjuna, you fight the war. Why? because you are a Kshatriya. To uphold dharma is your right. Okay, that desire if you drop, then you will become vegetable. Understand? So desires which are dharmic in nature, that's why Bhagavan says Krishna, dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. I am the desire which is in tune with the dharma. So when he says dharmic desires will not agitate you, desires which are not dharmic will agitate you. Drop all those desires which will agitate your mind, which cause the agitation in the mind. That's the teaching. Without understanding this, many people think that drop all the desires and become vegetables. Potatoes. What is it?
Drop all desires.
Krishna says drop all desires. Okay. Then what is that all desires? You have to understand. Otherwise, you understand Krishna wrongly.
That is vairagya, no? Dropping all unwanted desires.
Dropping desires which causes you disturbance is called vairagya.
Yes.
Dropping all desires means dropping desires which cause you disturbance. That you have to qualify. Is it clear? So then, how do you have to do? You have to control your sense organs. The sense organs are going after the pleasure. Okay? Control your sense organs. Drop all the unwanted desires. Drop all desires which cause you disturbance. Control your sense organs. And then go back to your inner self, Atma. So this is the method prescribed by Shri Krishna. So control the sense organs with the mind. Control the mind with the intellect. Intellect will be able to control only when the intellect is clear. Okay. If the intellect is not clear, there is so much of confusion. It will not control the mind. The clarity is required in the intellect. The mind has to be controlled, and the sense organs have to be restrained. Take the mind inwards towards the self, Atma, and attain the ultimate bliss. This is the summary of Dhyana Yoga. Prashanta Manasam Henam Yoginam Sukhamuttamam Upaiti Shanta Rajasam Brahma Bhutam Akalmasham. He will attain that supreme bliss. That yogi will attain the supreme bliss. He operates in the world with supreme bliss. That supreme bliss is called Amrita Ananda. When we speak of Amrita Ananda Mai, it is not a person. It is a state of bliss which he or she has attained. When you operate in the world, operate with that state of bliss. Supreme bliss. Whose mind has become quiet and peaceful. Whose unwanted desires have come down. And who has become free from sin. What is sin? Sin is something which causes you trouble. Sin is identification of the body and mind. Once you drop that sin and you identify the Brahman, you attain that supreme bliss. That's called Brahmadhyana, realization of Brahman. That's called Amritaranda. That's called eternal bliss. Alright? In summary, today what we discussed, 3 or 4 slokas of Bhagavad Gita of chapter 6, sloka number 27 up to 27, the essence of Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana consists of 3 stages. What are the 3 stages called? Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Samadhi means becoming one with the God, Brahman. Okay, there are no thoughts there. But before that, there are thousands of thoughts. those thoughts have to be reduced, narrowed down through the process of contemplation, right thinking. Okay. And as the thought narrows down, only one thought remains, that concentration. It's called concentration. When one thought remains, it's called concentration. That one thought should be finally, I am Brahman. My nature is Sachidananda. That thought should remain. So the mind takes the Brahmakara vritti, the form of the Brahman, then merges with the Brahman. Then individual has merged with the Brahman, supreme reality, and he has attained supreme bliss. He has become one with the ultimate. This is the summary of the couple of shlokas of Bhagavad Gita. And attaining this, all other attainments will become insignificant because you have attained the highest. Any questions?